Make your dolls, the Sahabi or the Salahuddin Ayyubi. Make them without the facial features. If you have the Salahuddin Ayyubi with the sword and the shield, it will teach your child that I'm supposed to be a mujahid without being violent. If you have every Sahabi in a doll form without the facial features, and this is Abu Huraira, this is Abu Bakr, this is Uthman, the children will play and learn the stories. Who said it is haram? The haram is the reverence. But the reverence will be there because they will have no facial features. So this child knows this is what Abu Bakr is. This is his character. He will look for the character. And then he'll tell his other friend, Abu Bakr was the Khalifa, so you should listen to me. You are Umar, but you are under me now. So the children will learn this way. Instead of having the babis, you have the niqabis and the hijabis, and the girls will learn. This is how we are supposed to be. But the sad thing is, we are not daring enough. We are not daring enough. If those youth had money and they went and imported such dolls and launched them, it will be a major breakthrough. That you are taking away our babi and giving us a hijabi. Everyone will go for it. You are taking away Superman and giving us Salahuddin Ayyubi. Everyone will go for it. But you are saying haram TikTok, haram Instagram. What have you given them the alternative? The teenagers are already addicted to it. So here, when the hadith says that you should be careful of your actions and your speech, we should ponder over it, that what has speech done to our lives? Today the world is being controlled by very few individuals. But they took the initiative of sitting down and thinking how to psychologically control the human mind. All the ulama around are psychologists, perfect psychologists. But the sad thing is, no one has told them how to use that psychology to benefit the ummah. They use that psychology to benefit their own stomachs. I was at a funeral today, and I openly said it, that when it comes to Isali Thawab, it is there. In Fiqh Sunnah, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu told Amr ibn al-As that when I pass away, get the children to recite Quran for me. I'll discuss that topic on another day. But I told them, the bid'ah that has come up is some people have made it a profession. Don't go to the madaris and the shuyukh and the ma'alims and tell them we want some children to come and do khitbatul Quran for our deceased. Don't do that. Because first and foremost, it will be a profession. Secondly, those children will expect to get something. Definitely you, being a Muslim, you will also feed them and even tip them. But the best way is when your relatives come around to give their condolences. Instead of sitting around and talking about their iPhones and the latest version of apps and their cars, give them a juzu. Let them read a juzu, they get their thawab, and as they move out, let them delegate that thawab to the mayyit. So instead of just sitting there and talking about worldly affairs, you will be doing a good deed. And then on the second day, on the third day, when your mourning period is over, get a very good sheikh to come and do dua. And I also told them, that does not mean that you should not take care of the madaris and the shuyukh. They have dedicated their time to deen. You should also make sure that they do not become beggars, or they do not turn religion into a profession. So don't wait for an occasion, marriage, death, birth, or musibah, and then you go looking for the sheikh. Make sure you take care of the shuyukh and the madaris without looking for the occasion. Make it a monthly donation, a weekly donation, a yearly donation. Make sure that your madaris and your shuyukh have their basic needs taken care of, so that they don't, because they are humans, they don't revert to finding and making, oh, today we are celebrating the birthday of this one, and tomorrow we are celebrating the birthday of this one. These are all brought up because of you people not taking care of the shuyukh and the madaris. And them being human, because they have got needs, now they look for loopholes. So what I'm saying is the shuyukh are psychologists. They know how to play with your psychology. Politics and religion are two very major issues that affect the humans. We can see what the politicians are doing to our world. They have devastated us. But for the shuyukh, we can't see because most of them, their mas'ala is ukhrawiyya. So when you go in the akhirah is when you'll find that you have devastated your life. Why? Because of following a certain sheikh. The shuyukh should use their psychology to lead the ummah in the right path. You will only get the khilafah or the Salahuddin Ayyubis from the sheikhs who guide you towards the ummah and not self. So the social media should be used to guide the youth onto the righteous path. Then it says, وَالْمُهَاجِرُ مَنْ هَاجَرَ مَا نَهَى اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. It is not easy. A muhajir is he who stays away from that what Allah has said, don't do. I'm going to today openly bring this issue. There's a certain sect leader who calls himself a Muslim and he has got a large following, but he has brought in haram into deen. He has made riba halal, na'udhu billah, saying that the Prophet Muhammad sallam made haram the riba that the poor people used to take so as to feed themselves, not the commercial riba. Who told you? So he has made riba, na'udhu billah, halal if it is in commercial interest. He says everyone is earning. So if I'm taking a loan and I'm making profit, why should I not pay riba? He said the riba that is haram is whereby someone is very poor and he takes a loan. The way the Prophet Muhammad sallam took a loan from a Jew to feed his family. He said that one is haram. But the commercial riba is okay. One thing, the commercial riba is not only haram, it hurts both parties. I take a loan of 1 million shillings. I invest in a very lucrative business. The person who has given me the loan, Mr. Salim or Mr. Ali, has told me you'll pay me 10%. So I'll give him 1,100,000 shillings over. End of story. But then Mr. Salim or Mr. Ali realizes later on that I invested in the business that I was talking about the niqabis and the hijabis and the ayubis. And out of 1 million, when I launched that product, I made 10 million shillings profit. Don't you think he will like to have a bigger share? And tell me, Maulana, you have given me just 100,000. You have made a profit of 10 million. Why don't you give me at least 1 million? But by Salim, you are the one who decided it should be 100,000, 10%. And then the other thing, compound interest. Today, the inflation in the world has been brought about by compound interest. Compound interest has killed us. Compound interest has killed us. Simple interest doesn't kill, but compound interest kills. Why? Because it accumulates over the main interest plus the principal. It is calculated over and above the principal amount. Europe was killed by compound interest being given by the Jews. That is how the Jews started controlling the Christians. The Jews and the Christians were staunch enemies of each other. They did not want to see each other. When Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu took over Jerusalem for the first time, the first treaty that they had with Umar was to not allow any Jew to reside or do business in Jerusalem. That's what the Christians told Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. But the Jews found a loophole and they went to the Christian countries and started giving money on interest. Because in Christianity, interest is haram also. So the Jews went and did that, and they did it on compound interest. And in 50 years, they had killed Europe. And the Christians became the slaves of the Jews through compound interest. Today, the Christians and Jews are one against Muslims. Why? Because the Christians have become slaves of the Jews through compound interest. So he has made interest, na'udhu billah, halal. Secondly, if I take 1,000,000 shillings, it's business, profit and loss. I might go a loss. I make a loss and I still have to pay you your principal amount plus 100,000. Isn't that going to hurt me? Both parties lose. So interest is haram, whether commercial or personal. So when this person says it is halal, he is doing wrong. Then he has made alcohol also halal. He said we have to move with the modern times. So there's nothing wrong with drinking as long as you don't get drunk. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Alcohol is haram. ما كان كثير حرام فقليل حرام. Whatever is haram in large quantity is haram in small quantity also. You cannot say that zina is haram, but if I just put the tip inside, it will not be haram. It is still haram. إذا التقى الحتنان, it's still haram. Or if I do zina, and I'm sorry, I'll have to use this word, and I do a blowjob, it is halal. Na'udhu billah, it is still haram. So alcohol is haram. He has brought an issue that we have to move with the modern times. The other thing that he has made, na'udhu billah, halal is pork. He has told his followers that the Prophet Muhammad sallam made khinzir haram because it was dirty. It used to eat every filth. But if you are going to rear a pig in a clean environment, then it is okay. Subhanallah. He has made it halal, not even just darura. Let me tell him one thing. In the Arabian Peninsula, the pigs that we have in Europe were not the pigs that were there. The pigs that were there were the wild warthogs, the wild pigs. And the wild pigs do not eat filth. If you have gone anywhere and looked at the warthog is also a pig. It does not eat filth. The pig was not made haram because of eating filth, because even the chicken eats filth. So if it is haram, even the chicken should have been haram. And he has also told his followers that the poultry today eats more filth than the pigs. So why should the poultry be halal, na'udhu billah? It is not because of the filth that the pig was made haram. The body of the pig is such that it does not allow any toxin to be removed from the body. When the pig urinates, it retains 96% of the poisons inside the body. It does not remove the ammonia or the hydrochlorines. The toxins that are formed in the body of the pig is the reason why it was made haram. So even if you rear it in a tame place and a nice clean place and a hygiene place, the body will still retain the filth. So the pig was not made haram because of what it fed on, but because of its digestive system. But he has made these three things halal, and he has got lots of followers. And they are saying, look, we are rich, and we are this and that. The other thing that he has, na'udhu billah, made halal is zina. The Shias have made halal zina through muta'. He has made halal zina. How? He comes to a function, the young maiden girls who have never had sex have sex with him for tabarruk, na'udhu billah. And then he says, you are my daughters, I will bless you. And he has sex with them, na'udhu billah. When he marries from Europe. And he says, I cannot marry my daughters. But when you are doing zina with them, it is okay. Oh, that is tabarruk. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Muslims, where are we going? And he calls himself a Muslim. This is not a Muslim. This is not a Muslim. This is a mushrik. This is a mushrik, is a kafir. Because anyone who follows the rai of an individual who is not a prophet is a mushrik. He has bought in his own rai. If you bring your own opinion in deen, you become a mushrik. That's exactly what the mushrikeen of Makkah did. They used to do hajj, but naked, because they had bought in their opinion. He has made commercial interests halal, pork halal, alcohol halal, zina halal, and then he calls himself a Muslim. He's not a Muslim, he's a mushrik. I openly say it, and I challenge him to it. But he uses speech. When you listen to his speech, he's so mesmerizing that you say, MashaAllah, he's a wali, na'udhu billah. Ahmad Mirza Qadiani, the person who claimed prophethood. You know how he started off? He started off very nicely by doing what we call diverse discussions with other faiths, attacking Christianity, debating with Christianity, Hinduism. So he got followers. People are like, oh, mashallah, he's promoting Islam, da'wah. So when he got followers, then he said, now, wahi is rahmah. How can rahmah be cut off? So I am a prophet. Na'udhu billah. And the people believed in him. They said, yet wahi is rahmah. And rahmah cannot be cut off. He said humankind is always on the straight path. They always have to have someone to bring them back onto the straight path. I am na'udhu billah a nabi. And that's how you got. The same thing I am afraid of is with the Dr. Zakir Naiks of today. They have started with deen and now they are giving fatwas. Dr. Zakir Naik is giving fatwas. If you write inshallah, if you write mashallah this way, who told you? He does not even know Arabic. He does not even know the meaning of inshallah, why it should be together and not separate. When Allah wrote it in the Quran, He has written it as one word. He has not said in and sha'Allah. He has written it as one word. And He says, inshallah, if you read it this way, it means, na'uzubillah, God has created. Who told you? You don't even know Arabic. We who, mashallah, have been blessed with it, we don't even know how to go into it, diverge in it. We are not indulging. Why? Because it has got very unique characters. Only those who understand the unique characters of Arabic and have done a doctorate in it can sort of give you the inner meaning. And you who does not even speak a word of Arabic other than Fatiha and Surah Ikhlas, you start telling us these things. You give us fatwas. He goes and says that if the men have got Hurul Ain in Jannah, even the women should have. You should be very much afraid of this person. He's an MBBS. You are supposed to be sampling urine and feces, and he's sampling the Quran, na'udhu billah. But he started off with religion, diverse religions. So he's got very many followers. And now he's bringing about this issue, that if you are going to have 70 Hurul Ain in Jannah, why can't the women also have the same? And there's another woman who on live media asked one of the sheikhs that you'd claim that there will be 70 Hurul Ain for every man. That is just the minimal. Isn't that sort of, what do you call it, sexualism? That men will have 70 women. And what if the women also have husbands? Or why can the women in the hadith say that we'll go on a shopping spree? He said, why doesn't the hadith say that the women will have a shopping spree? So you see, when you start asking your mind, these are the things that come out. You should be very careful. Just because a person speaks English or because he knows a hadith or two, you should not believe in him just like that. You should make sure that whatever he gives you is in relation with the Quran and hadith, not stepping outside of it. In the other hadith, I'm sorry we'll not have time to finish it today. Inshallah we'll continue with the darsas. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين. This is a very exciting hadith. I might even take 2 darsas just to explain it. The Prophet Muhammad Sallam says, none of you is a true believer until he loves me much more than himself and his parents. Ask the teenagers who fall in love for the first time. It's an amazing feeling. We have all gone through teenage. Let's not lie to ourselves. We have all had crushes and teenage lives. You are ready to do anything for her or him. If she's drinking Coke, you want to drink Coke. If she's putting on a certain perfume, you want to put on that perfume. If she's walking in a certain way and she likes a certain thing, you want to follow it. So ask yourself, that is just small love, temporary love. Anytime she might leave you. This hadith says, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين. Another one says, حتى أكون أحب إليه من نفسه. Ask yourself, do we really love the Prophet immensely and immensely, as this hadith states? Inshallah, next week when we continue, we are going to pick up this hadith and go deep into it. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وصلى الله على خير خلق محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين.